What's going on, guys? This is Carl. So today I'm going to be making a little video on how I turboed my bug, the processes I went through it, what I used to do it, pretty much how long it took me. At first, I said, oh yeah, I could do this in a day if I had a welder. Truth be told, I couldn't do it in a day. I didn't have that much experience with this. Especially with the Harbor Freight welder. So yeah, so I'm just going to go through pretty much what materials I used and how I did it and what techniques I did, all that good stuff. So yeah, sadly I put the hood on so you can't really see anything. I don't have the spring hooked up either, so so pretty much I had a bunch of piping from an old trampoline. That was the main frame of this whole turbo build, and my welds looked like complete crap. And that's because I have a Harbor Freight welder, and I didn't, do the best prep. I mean, some look better than others. This one looks pretty decent. I didn't do good prep work, so that's why they look like crap. And I do have holes, not that big of holes. That one's probably one of the biggest holes. But I do believe I have leaks down by my actual exhaust. Considering my friend, he snapped off one of my exhaust head studs down there, so that doesn't really help, but I'm gonna try and get some gaskets. Now, since I didn't, engineer this with mathematics and all that measurement, I mean, I did do some measuring, but I didn't, do very good measurements. I kind of eyeballed everything. Considering I eyeballed everything, it actually works pretty decent. But some of it doesn't line up, of course, because it's, it's a garage turbo build. I didn't buy a kit, but you could probably buy just the exhaust pipe from a Baja buggy. I found one online for 80 bucks, and the cool thing about that is it just has the stinger pipe connection, and I think it ends somewhere down by here, and I believe it fits in between the body. I'm not sure, that's why I didn't buy it, but I believe it fits in between there, and then you can just make a adapter for the stinger pipe to go to the turbo. But I mean, I didn't have 80 bucks at the time, and now I have money, but so I had to do it on a budget. So I had trampoline piping. I did go to Lowe's for a couple things. I had my dad go to his work and fabricate me this steel plate for the turbo mount, which I welded on, which looks like crud. But so the way I pretty much went about this is they had J-tubes for sale, but I didn't buy any. So I'm gonna tell you this right now, this whole turbo build cost me about, hard to say, probably somewhere around 100 bucks, because I had most of the materials myself. So I have these tubes that I got from O'Reilly's. They're just exhaust tubes, and they sell these in all kinds of sorts and sizes and stuff. And I went ahead and got some piping from Lowe's. It's galvanized, so you gotta grind the galvanizing off. But I made gaskets, and this is how I set mine up, because I didn't quite know how the exhaust went on the VW. And so pretty much I connected the J-tube from there to my little adapter, so I could take these apart and take apart the turbo setup a lot easier. This one does have a gasket, but I believe there's a hole also. There's a little bit of slit in there. Probably can't really see it, but there it is. Yeah. So I do have to do some modifications, bend some more stuff. And then that goes to here, and then that down pipe comes up from here. That's the main pipe that goes to the turbo, and then I made this pipe that goes from the turbo, from the main pipe from the back to the smaller pipe that also hooks up. Now this weld is crappy too. I'm pretty sure the hole diameter in there isn't very big. Probably the reason why my turbo doesn't spool, that I can hear it spool, is either because this thing doesn't produce enough exhaust, that turbo's too big, or I have so many holes that it doesn't really get that much exhaust in there. Now when I put my hand over the turbo exhaust, I don't feel a lot of exhaust pressure coming out. So I mean, maybe something's up, I don't know. But, and then like I said in my other video I made yesterday, I used a oil tap. I went to Lowe's and bought a little brass T and a little brass nipple, as they call it, and put that in there, and then I threaded that little electric piece for the oil into the T so it still, you know, could receive it, or else probably wouldn't start. Probably might need to test that, but anyways. And then I also went to O'Reilly's and bought some of their grease gun oil. Now this thing can handle up to 3,000 psi. It's, you know, high pressure line. Hotness, the heat wise, I don't know how much it can take, but it's been handling it so far. So I can't really complain, and so I bought 2 of those, and then also used a little brass, I don't know what you would call that, connector in between, I guess, something like that. Not good with technical stuff. And then I linked that one up to there, and then I went ahead and I bought another turbo because my turbo was toast, so I went to Pick and Pull and bought another turbo. So this inlet, the compressor housing for the turbo is from a Saab 900, a newer one. The core is from also the Saab, but this one is from a Volvo, and it's all TDO4. It fit together pretty well. So I actually went ahead and used the old banjo bolt. Before, I had some weird like thing I got from Lowe's, and I just fabricated it to where it pretty much sat off here, and then had like a physical pipe that this just threaded into. It was so much better than this, but it would not have fit underneath my hood. Little did I know I was going to buy a second hood and just put a bunch of holes in it, so that probably would have worked, but for now this is what I got, and I like it a lot better. And then I have some braided line that I had laying around in the garage, and I just hose clamped on here because my other line actually blew and spewed oil all over the road. Most of it's gone now, you can't really see it, but I went all the way down my street, turned around, and yep, sure enough, I looked behind me and there was oil everywhere. It got all the way on the side of my car, you know. So don't make stupid mistakes like me. Don't use the line from your wastegate for your oil. That was a really stupid mistake. I'm lucky my car didn't catch on fire for that. So I got braided line and used it. I'm probably going to upgrade this to some stronger line because I really don't like the way this is working. I was going to take a nut that was this kind of thread, but apparently they don't sell nuts that are this kind of fine thread. So I need to find something that I can weld onto here and then screw in so I don't have to hose clamp everything, because I mean, sooner or later this is going to blow. I just know it. I mean, it's braided, so it might last me a little while. But enough on that. That doesn't leak anymore, so that's nice. The only thing that does leak is my my drain from the turbo. Now this, like I said, this was a garage build. I looked up every single damn video on YouTube I could try and find to try and see, you know, VW bug turbo oil drain from the turbo, and I couldn't find anything. So this, I'm trying to help people out who's trying to do this like me, and have a garage build. So this is how I did mine. I just drilled a hole in the oil cap. You can buy these for like, I don't know, $4. And I didn't have to seal anymore, so I actually went, this stuff is amazing. I'm gonna do a little bit of yeah, I'm leaking a little bit of oil there, but I'm gonna do a little bit of advertising, I guess. The flex shot from the guy that used to say, "Hi, Billy Mays there." You can get that at I think Walgreens, probably anywhere else. Flex shot. It is amazing stuff. It's good for, it says it's good for like sealing out water or air and stuff, but this stuff, it works on oil too. It's so good, because this stuff has been holding up. I lost my seal in here, and I squirted it in there, and it's been holding up this entire time. It used to leak out of here. I think I'd got to put some more because it's still leaking a bit, but I don't think it's actually from that. This pipe up here is actually leaking a lot. So I think I'm just gonna squirt some flex shot around here. You know, I actually use carburetor cleaner to clean it all up so the flex shot has something to grip onto. But I mean, like I said, my welding isn't the best, so I just squirted flex shot all around this pipe. Still leaking a bit, so I'm just gonna fill the whole damn thing in flex shot and hopefully it'll work. Because I need to go to the movies this Sunday and I'm not trying to catch my car on fire, so yeah. So I just used a hose that I got from also Lowe's. The issue I had before was I didn't make this tube here, this little J-tube type thing. I just had the tubes going straight into there, and that was very, very not safe and didn't work very well. So I ended up making this so it didn't crimp, because what was happening, the reason why that blew was because the oil was getting backed up in there when that was getting kinked and this was getting kinked, so it had back pressure and that thing just exploded. But I mean, it looks kinked up there, but it actually has pretty decent flow. It's not too bad, too kinked, can't really see it. But also what I did with the turbo is, since I had to totally switch up the way the exhaust housing went from the compressor, because I needed the oil drain and other stuff, I had to take this, bend it here. I mean, my wastegate probably doesn't work now, but I'm not even running that much. I don't think I'm running any boost, but I welded it down there, right there, as you can see, right, probably can see that anyway, right there. And then I put it back to the compressor housing, and it actually works. The wastegate actually opens. How efficient, I don't know, but like I said, my car doesn't, I've got too many holes. I have to do something, maybe retune it. I've been trying to tune it every day now. Also, if you're having issues with your V-dub not responding to any of your tunes, clean out your idle jet, because I didn't clean mine out for the longest time. I totally forgot about it. On mine, it's right there. It's a little tiny nut right, try and get it right there, right underneath, right on top of my finger. I use a little screwdriver. You can get it out from here, from this way. It's not magnetized, it's brass, so you can't really get a magnet on there, so I just used a really long plier and got it out. But clean the idle jet out, then it'll respond to all your tunes, because I did that and literally I didn't step on the gas at all, and it was ice cold and it started right up and no issues. So then you can tune it from there. So clean out your idle jet if your car isn't responding to any of your tunes. So yeah, that's pretty much my video on how I turboed it. Not much to it actually, just a lot of fabricating. It took me, oh man, it took me probably 4 months, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Now it'd probably take me about a month. Sorry about the dogs in the background. And then my intercooler piping, I went to Lowe's, got a bunch of like rubber tubing for plumbing, and then got some plastic from Lowe's, got some bends and stuff. This one I had, it was from a vacuum, and then I went all the way up there to my intercooler. Like I said in my video yesterday, if you watched it, it's from a 2004 WRX. So I mean, it works. It actually keeps the turbo quite cool, and this pipe is cool at all times when this thing's getting ice, like piping hot. I opened these fans up because they actually blow air, so if you can somehow get that to blow some cold air, I don't know how you would do that. The doghouse fan in the back is what's blowing it, and if you can get it to, I mean, just blowing air on the engine in general, and then taking out your safety plate right here, probably kind of scary. If you go over rocks, you're gonna get it into your belt, but I took that chance. And then if you just take out that plate there, you should be fine. You should be getting a lot of airflow. I had my engine off for my deck lid off for the longest time, so it'd get air. But since school's starting soon, I had to put it back on. I don't really want people messing with it. And if I can find a key for this thing, I can lock it. But it doesn't really make any sense since I have a gaping hole right here. But I think it gives air to the turbo and looks kind of cool actually. I thought I was going to patch all this up and just have this hole right here. I have this one friend that likes to stick donuts inside my engine. And I mean, you guys might find that funny, but I take my car kind of seriously. I mean, it might not look like it, but I do care about my car. I do actually do maintenance on it. I change oil on it, change spark plugs. So I mean, I take care of my car. And he's like, oh, you know, you can do whatever to my car once I get mine. I'm like, doesn't make any sense because I still don't want you doing it to mine. But sorry, I'm just rambling on right now. But I like my car. You know, it's a classic. I People, VW haters, are probably gonna be like, man, you totally just ruined your car. You're probably right, but I wanted to make it mine. So, and it's totally fine. I mean, I do my valve adjustments, which is the most important thing on VWs. But anyways, I might do a little video on how I put my stereo system in there. My subwoofer looks like crap, but it actually bangs pretty good, slaps pretty well. But now it kind of detours people from wanting to steal it, but I just need to cover that one up, because that one, I don't know if it's expensive. It's a Sony DSW. I got this shit at Goodwill for about like $8 for all 3 speakers, and this thing bangs pretty good. So yeah, that's my video. Hope you guys liked it. It's kind of longer than my other ones. So yeah, have any questions or anything, leave me a comment. Peace.